and welcome. You're watching the news track. I'm Rahul Kamal. A woman hopelessly in love or a sinister Pakistani spy? Who is the real Seema Haider? A mysterious story that has India in its grip, and it's my top focus on the news track.
An India-Pakistan love story. Now under investigation. Did she cross over only for love? Or is Seema Haider a Pakistani spy? Unconventional love story or a spy saga? Big focus on News Track.
A PUBG love story, a cross-border relationship. The Seema Haider Sachin Meena saga seems to have captured India's imagination. Did Seema Haider really travel across 4 nations for the sake of love? Or is she a sinister Pakistani spy here as part of an ISI plot? On the news track tonight, we will try and decipher the mystery called Seema Haider.
From the virtual battlefields of PUBG, from Karachi in Pakistan to Rabupura in Greater Noida, via Kathmandu in Nepal. 27-year-old Seema Ghulam Haider's daring trek to marry her lover, 5 years younger, with her 4 children in tow. Now a subject of intense investigation.
दो राष्ट्रों के बीच जुड़ा हुआ है, इसमें जब तक पर्याप्त साक्ष्य नहीं मिल जाते कुछ भी कहना उचित नहीं। तो अगर हमारा बॉर्डर पोरस है और उसके लिए कोई पासपोर्ट की आवश्यकता नहीं है, तो इसलिए इस तरह की चीजें लेकिन एक पाकिस्तानी नागरिक नहीं, ये तो किसी के चेहरे पे तो कुछ लिखा नहीं।
Uttar Pradesh's Anti-Terror Squad questioned the Pakistani woman sneaking into India via Nepal for 9 hours on Tuesday. Multiple agencies involved in cross-examining her claims. The Karachi-based Haider allegedly met Sachin Meena of Greater Noida a couple of years ago. Already married in 2014, her husband working in Saudi Arabia, she first met Meena in Nepal in March. Stayed with him in this hotel for a couple of days. Travelled to Nepal again in May. This time with her 4 children. She took a bus and crossed into India to reunite with her lover. Haider allegedly sold a property back in Karachi to fund her trip. But the investigating agencies aren't taking this story on its face value. Intriguing revelations tumble out of the ongoing probe. The Pakistani national holds not 1 but 2 passports. Number HZ0004421 and HZ0004422. Discrepancies found in her age and birth date. Pakistani authorities seem to have issued Seema Haider her national identity card in September 2022. These documents in general made available months after the birth. In her case, she got her Pakistani national identity less than a year ago. 2 passports in Pakistan. A bus from Pokhara to Uttar Pradesh to reach Greater Noida. Evading the keen eye of the Sashastra Seema Bal along the India-Nepal border. She carried all travel documents, but left one of the phones and a laptop she used in Pakistan behind. And when India Today spoke to her estranged husband, a laborer in Saudi Arabia, Ghulam Haider claimed Seema Haider's brother is a Pakistani border guard.
ये जो सीमा हैदर, इसके भाई का नाम आसिफ है ना?
जी जी।
तो आसिफ कहाँ है अभी, किसमें कहाँ काम करते हैं?
इधर ड्यूटी है इसका, कोई नहीं, इधर कराची में।
क्या पाकिस्तान रेंजर्स में है, फौजी हैं?
जी जी।
और इनके जो चाचा है सीमा के,
वो गुलाम अकबर, वो भी बड़े उधर में इस्लामाबाद में, पता नहीं लाहौर में,
कहाँ पे है?
इस्लामाबाद।
Seema Haider's speech, her language skills. A Pakistani woman from the Sindh province dressing up like a rural woman from India's Hindi heartland. Investigators are leaving nothing to chance. Agencies suspect that Pakistani handlers might have taken professional help to give Seema Haider a makeover in order for her to slip into India without detection. Seema Haider's purported affidavit from 2014 in India Today's possession. The woman in this document accused her parents of greed. She testified that she left her home to live with Ghulam Haider because her parents wanted to marry her off with someone else against her wishes. And now she has left Ghulam Haider for Sachin Meena in India. Out on bail, but not off the hook. Seema Haider, an unconventional lover, or a Pakistani spy out to set up base in Uttar Pradesh? Over to the investigating agencies to get to the bottom of her saga. With Arvind Ojha, Bureau Report, India Today.
It's one of those sagas where everyone in our newsroom, people in every home, in every office, they all have an opinion. They're all convinced they know. No one knows for sure, but they still think they do. Joining me on this broadcast, I want to welcome some of our reporters and some officials who've been in different agencies. I want to start by welcoming our crime editor, Shams Tahir Khan, joining me on the news track. Gaurav Sawant, our strategic affairs expert, looking at the international dimension of what's at play. Munish Pandey tracks the Ministry of Home Affairs. We've got Arvind Ojha, who's our crime editor, and we've got Samarth Srivastav. He is in Kathmandu, going back to the places that Seema Haider and Sachin went to in Kathmandu and in Pokhara. I want to start by asking Gaurav, who in our newsroom we are part of a fascinating conversation this afternoon about why, on the basis of what you've picked up so far, you seem to be convinced that Seema Haider is a sinister Pakistani spy.
So there are many aspects that don't add up, Rahul. If this is a love story, it's a very strange love story.
Why?
For example, why would she have two passports? When she came
But
to
we don't
India,
know for sure that she has two passports.
So I'll read out what has come from the Uttar Pradesh police. This is a background note. In all, she's come with 6 passports, 4 children. One is hers, one is an additional passport, and India Today has been able to get the passport numbers. So one, why would she have 2 passports? And if I could, the number is HZ0004421. Very strange, Rahul. The second passport number is HZ0004422. So 2122, 2 consequent numbers, and she has 2 passports in her name. One says Seema Haider, the other just says Seema. One has been used, the other is unused. So why would any individual have 2 passports? Point 1. Point 2, in Pakistan there is a rule. The NADRA, which is National Database and Registration Authority, issues a CNIC, which is a computerized national identity card. It's like our Aadhaar. This computerized national identity card in Pakistan is issued to every individual when that individual turns 18. If she's either 21 or she's 27. Again, a discrepancy in her date of birth according to her passport and according to what she says herself. She says, I'm 27. If she's 27, why was her NADRA card or her CNIC card not issued 10 years ago when she was 18? Why was it issued just last year? So was everything pieced together? Her passport is last year, her database national identity card is last year. Was an identity created last year for her to come into India, to become friends with this guy and then move into Uttar Pradesh?
Shams, when viewers will listen to Gaurav's response, they'll think, boss, yahan dal mein kuch kala hai. On the back of all that you've studied of this story, all the officials you've spoken to in different agencies, you seem to be convinced that she's just a woman in love and everybody is just playing Seema auntie and being judgmental when they shouldn't.
अभी तक जितनी सारी चीज़ें आई उसको देखते हुए ऐसा लगता है, जैसे राहुल, मैं शुरुआत से अगर बताऊं, सिर्फ 72 आवर्स के अंदर अंदर सीमा को बेल आउट कर दिया जाता है और नोएडा पुलिस उसको अपोज नहीं करती कोर्ट में। नोएडा पुलिस का ये कहना था कि जो हमने इन्वेस्टिगेशन किया उसमें ऐसा कुछ मिला नहीं है, पहली चीज़। दूसरी चीज़ उसमें ये थी कि सीमा अपने बच्चों के साथ बॉर्डर क्रॉस करके आई बिना वीज़ा के, ये उसने एक जुर्म किया है, क्राइम किया है। लेकिन जहाँ तक स्पाई की बात आती है, हम लोगों ने जितनी भी जासूसी फिल्में देखी हों या नॉवल पढ़े हों या इवन मैंने कई ऐसे जासूसों से बात की, बल्कि इवन आईबी के कुछ लोगों से ही बात की, सबसे ज़रूरी होता है कि अगर आप किसी देश में स्पाई या जासूस के तौर पर जा रहे हैं, आप अपनी आइडेंटिटी कभी डिस्क्लोज नहीं करेंगे, आप उसको छुपाएंगे।
दिस इज अ रियल नेम,
मैं वही कह रहा हूँ कि डिस्क्लोज नहीं करेंगे, लेकिन यहाँ पर और उस आप कंट्री को भी आप छुपाएंगे। सीमा पूरा एक बैग लेकर आती है, ये रहे मेरे पासपोर्ट, ये मेरे बच्चों के पासपोर्ट, ये कर मेरा कराची का पता, ये मेरे हस्बैंड का आई कार्ड, ये मेरे फादर इन,
वो जेन्युइन डिटेल दे रही है।
अगर वो स्पाई है तो पहली चीज़ वो कि वो इंडिया और पाकिस्तान के हमारे जो रिलेशन है हम सब जानते हैं, वो किसी और कंट्री का भी बता सकती है। पाकिस्तानी पासपोर्ट बगैर वीज़ा के और इंडिया आ रही है और उसे पता है पाकिस्तानी पासपोर्ट देखेंगे तो पहला उस पर डाउट जाएगा। तो पाकिस्तानी पासपोर्ट के साथ यहाँ आना, किसी स्पाई इतनी बेवकूफ़ी वाले काम नहीं करते हैं, पहली चीज़। सेकेंड ये है कि जो सीमा का पाकिस्तानी है, क्यों डाउट हो रहा है? एक तो पाकिस्तानी है, ऊपर से पाकिस्तानी लड़की है, ऊपर से दिखने में ठीक ठाक है। जो हाल के वक्त में हमने देखा अभी जैसे DRDO साइंटिस्ट की जो चार्जशीट दाखिल हुई, सेम यही सारी चीज़ें थी। एक ब्रिटिश लड़की थी जिसने अपने जाल में फंसाया। तो ये सारी चीज़ें डाउट क्रिएट करती है और ये डाउट गलत नहीं है। एक तो पाकिस्तान से आया, उस पर आपको शक करना चाहिए, इन्वेस्टिगेट करना चाहिए। नोएडा पुलिस ने किया फर्स्ट 48 आवर्स के अंदर अंदर। ये नोएडा पुलिस का काम नहीं है, क्योंकि स्पाई एक दूसरे देश से आता है तो फिर इसमें आपको सेंट्रल एजेंसी को इन्वॉल्व करना पड़ता है। होम मिनिस्ट्री, IB, ये सारी इन्वॉल्व हुई। और जो हमारे सोर्सेज उनका कहना है कि 48 आवर्स के इंट्रोगेशन और इन्वेस्टिगेशन के बाद ही सीमा को इतनी जल्दी बेल आउट किया गया, वरना आज अब तक मैंने नहीं देखा है कि किसी को आप स्पाई के डाउट में पकड़ें और फिर आप उसको फौरन बेल आउट कर दें। तो ऐसा इस केस में नहीं हुआ।
She wouldn't have got bail if serious investigative agencies like the Intelligence Bureau thought that she was a spy. She would have been locked up for a long time. And secondly, which spy comes with her own children? She doesn't need to come and tell us that she's Pakistani and bring her own children to India. She would have come like a Matahari all by herself.
So, we're still waiting to see if a DNA test is carried out and whether these are her children. That's point one. I'm not saying she's a spy. I'm just saying there are many aspects to the story that just don't add up. She didn't come to India showing her Pakistani passport at the border crossing point when she crossed over to Siddharthnagar from Nepal. In fact, that's the biggest question that an enemy country.
We have an open border with
Yes,
Nepal.
but then your documents are checked. Only Indians can come without documentation.
But the whole border is porous. You can walk in from anywhere.
Correct, but in this case, you're supposed to show your Aadhaar card, or you're supposed to show your passport, or you're supposed to show your PAN card or your driving license. That is how you cross over from Nepal into India. She apparently came in a bus. She did not show her Pakistani passport there. Had she shown her Pakistani passport, she would have been held immediately. But then somehow, who
No,
helped
but
her
Shams'
cross over?
point that if she's actually Pakistani, she won't come with a Pakistani passport. When terrorists come, they don't bring their Pak credentials with them. That's like the surest way of getting busted.
But how did she get busted? She didn't come saying, I am Pakistani, hi, I'm giving a television interview. She quietly came for 15 days, quietly lived in Greater Noida, and that's a very sensitive area. You have your Hindon Air Base, you have a Jewar International Airport that's coming up. She wanted to just settle in. It's only when the boy's family insisted you get married, they approached a lawyer, went to Bulandshahr. It's the lawyer who later alerted the police. So this raises very serious questions about the credibility of the Uttar Pradesh police and our intelligence agencies, that a Pakistani woman was living in our country for 15 days. They hadn't the foggiest idea this was happening. So that is why now there's an ATS investigation, an anti-terror squad investigation, and for the police to say कि किसी के चेहरे पर नहीं लिखा वो जासूस है, that's exactly why you have intelligence agencies. That is exactly why you have counter-terror forces. And we've been misled. A David Coleman Headley came into our country carrying an American passport and went around, looking at every VA, VP, vital asset and vital point in Delhi and Mumbai. So we've been bitten once. We haven't woken up.
अरविंद ओझा, आपकी बात हुई सीमा के पास्ट हस्बैंड से, क्या निकल के आया? क्या ये बात सही है कि वाकई में उसके ब्रदर्स आर्मी के अंदर हैं? पाकिस्तान कनेक्शन के बारे में सीमा का, क्या इसने ये घर बेचा, वाकई में 12 लाख का घर बेचा, या किसी एजेंसी ने इसको 12 लाख रुपए दिए?
नहीं राहुल, देखिए अभी तक जो इन्वेस्टिगेशन हुई है और अब से कुछ देर बाद बाकायदा कुछ देर पहले जो उत्तर प्रदेश पुलिस है उसने एक अब तक की जो जांच हुई उसको लेकर एक प्रेस रिलीज जारी की है। और उसके अलावा जो उत्तर प्रदेश पुलिस के जो टॉप ऑफिशियल हैं उनसे हमारी बात हुई है। उनका कहना है कि अभी तक सीमा ने जो कुछ भी बयान दिया है वो काफी हद तक सही सामने आया है। जो उसने बात कही थी कि उसने अपनी प्रॉपर्टी बेची है, वो भी बात काफी हद तक सही है। अभी तक की जो ATS की इन्वेस्टिगेशन है और जो नोएडा पुलिस की इन्वेस्टिगेशन है उसमें ये क्लियर नहीं हो पाया है कि सीमा वाकई कोई जासूस है, कोई स्पाई है। अभी तक यही माना जा रहा है कि वो प्रेम प्रसंग के चक्कर में सचिन से मिलने के लिए आई थी। वहीं अगर इंडिया टुडे ने जो बात की है, जो सीमा का फर्स्ट हस्बैंड है गुलाम हैदर, जो फिलहाल सऊदी अरब में, उसने ये कहा कि सीमा ने बताया था कि उसका जो भाई है आसिफ वो कराची में है, पाकिस्तानी रेंजर्स है। वहीं उसके जो अंकल है वो इस्लामाबाद में है। और कहीं ना कहीं एजेंसीज ने इस बात की पुष्टि भी की है। लेकिन ये काफी अनयूजुअल चीजें हैं, जिस तरह से सीमा यहां पर आती है, जिस तरह से पासपोर्ट पे, शायद यही वजह है कि एजेंसीज लगातार सीमा को इंटरोगेट कर रही है। हालांकि अभी तक कोई स्पाई का एविडेंस नहीं मिला है। वही गौरव की बात को रिफर करूंगा। अगर कोई एजेंसीज ये कहती है लैब्स पर कि किसी के चेहरे पर पाकिस्तानी नहीं लिखा है, तो ये बहुत अजीब सा बयान है, क्योंकि कहीं ना कहीं ये इंटेलिजेंस फेलियर तो है ही है। क्योंकि लोकल नेपाल से लेकर अगर सीमा ग्रेटर नोएडा तक आ जाती है और किसी एजेंसीज को जानकारी नहीं मिलती है तो यह बड़ा फेलियर। लेकिन जो एजेंसीज का इन्वेस्टिगेशन है, साथ ही साथ इंडिया टुडे की टीम ने काठमांडू, नोएडा से लेकर उसके हस्बैंड तक से बात की है, जिसमें कई ऐसी चीजें हैं जो सीमा पर शक भी पैदा करती है। वहीं इन्वेस्टिगेटिव एजेंसीज को का दावा है कि अभी तक स्पाई है सीमा, इसको लेकर कोई एविडेंस नहीं मिला। राहुल।
Munish Pandey, you've been speaking to the Ministry of Home Affairs. What are your sources telling you? I'm seeing this press note that Arvind was referring to put out. It's very rarely that any police force gives such detailed ball by ball commentary. This is not a chart sheet that they've put out. This is not a court document. They've given a day by day, ball by ball commentary of what Seema has done. It just also shows the level of interest in the story, which is why the police is doing something of this nature. But Arvind is absolutely right that they haven't found evidence yet to declare her a spy. But there are things which don't add up. The point that Gaurav was making, that she has 4 mobile phones, 5 Pakistani official passports, 1 adhura naam pate ke bagair without use passport, which essentially means there's 1 passport which is like a half-baked kind of passport. So why would she have this, Munish? Is it adding up for you?
Well, Rahul, as far as the agencies and the officials of Ministry of Home Affairs are concerned, they are keeping a close eye on the investigation. But now this is a very curious case, and it is very unusual for any ATS agency or for the UP ATS to come out with an official press release in which what they have mentioned so far is that overall the suspicion on Seema Haider is because of the 6 passports, 4 mobile phones, but also they have mentioned the entire detail. 2019, her husband went to Saudi. 2020, they started playing PUBG, and in 2023 March, they first time met in Nepal. In May, 10th of May, she left Pakistan, went to Dubai, and then on 11th she arrived in Nepal, and then on 12th she left for India and reached Noida on 13th. They have given a very detailed description of the overall journey of Seema Haider. Also, they have mentioned that it looks like that as of now, this looks like a case of love affair between Seema and Sachin. But at the very same time, they have also mentioned that they are continuing the investigation, because what Gaurav said, these are very valid points. She has 6 passports. No common person will have 6 passports. Why was she?
No, but those aren't her passports. No, 1 second. Those aren't 6 of her passports. There's 1 official passport of hers. There are 4 passports of her children. And since everyone here is playing Sherlock Holmes, Gaurav, I have a question for you. You're saying there's a second passport. Now imagine if the ISI was actually involved. Surely they would have got a proper passport for her. This press release says, एक अधूरे नाम पते के बगैर प्रयोग किया हुआ passport. If this is an official agency that's helping her, they can get her a proper पासपोर्ट्स है ना शम्स भाई? प्रॉपर
it
पासपोर्ट
is-
तो मिल ही
it
सकता है,
is a
आधा
proper-
अधूरा कच्चा पासपोर्ट क्यों मिलेगा?
आधा अधूरा is the naam. One passport
No, but
has
it's not
her
being
full name.
used.
Yeah, it's unused. So she has an unused passport with only Seema. One says Seema Haider Zaidi, the other says only Seema. So that's the adha adhura naam. That's the unused passport.
Shams, how difficult is it? Like in India, it's quite difficult to get another passport. In Pakistan, is it easy? Is it tough? नकली पासपोर्ट मिलता है कि नहीं पाकिस्तान में?
हर जगह मिलता है, क्योंकि हम सब कभी एक ही हुआ करते थे, तो और अंग्रेजों के दिए गए
इंडिया में अब
IPC
मुश्किल
और
हो,
सारी
इंडिया में
चीजें,
अब
हाँ,
काफी
अब चूंकि
मुश्किल हो।
ऑनलाइन हो चुका है। लेकिन यहाँ पे फिर मैं वहीं राहुल बात आऊँगा कि 5 और 6 और 7 पासपोर्ट की गिनती पे मैं नहीं जा रहा हूँ। सिंपल सी एक चीज़ है, अगर स्पाई वाला पूरा थ्योरी अगर करें तो इतनी बेसिक सी चीज़ है कि वो अगर अपनी ओरिजिनल पासपोर्ट लेकर आ रही है तो फिर एक डुप्लीकेट पासपोर्ट का मतलब नहीं है,
और same नाम का।
आइडेंटिटी और
It
सेम
could have
नाम
been a
का, तो
different
उसको
name.
भी लाने का जरूरत नहीं है। उसको ये सारे एविडेंस को काठमांडू में ही छोड़ देना चाहिए था, उसके बाद आना चाहिए था, अगर स्पाई की सोच के साथ आ रही है। अगर वो सारे एविडेंस आ रही है तो जो अभी तक आधे अधूरे पासपोर्ट की भी बात है, शायद उसे लगा कि इससे कोई मतलब ही नहीं है।
No, but that's a very good point Shams make. If she's a spy and she's sent by an agency and she's trained, you know, the theories I'm hearing is that she dances so well because she's been trained, that's how she knows how to wear a sari in the Indian way. If she's such a genius and such a devious spy, why would she carry a Pak passport to India?
She also is supposed to have left behind certain documents which were carried from Pakistan, not carried beyond Kathmandu. She's alleged to have, again this is source based information, she's alleged to have sent friend requests to army jawans and to others living in Delhi and NCR region. If she is so much in love with Sachin, why is she sending friend requests to
No, but
others?
there again, there is no official confirmation yet
So,
about
I
this
am
theory.
just going back,
This could be well langar gossip.
So, fair enough, it's all a matter of investigation. Then her mobile phone has been scrubbed clean. So she's carrying 4 mobile phones.
ये सही है कि phone clean है?
Those mobile phones
Shams
do
bhai,
not have
record पर
data.
नहीं है।
Those mobile phones do not have
No,
data.
but this is very suspicious.
So,
Arvind Oja,
where is data
has her
from
phone
before
been
her
scrubbed
arrival
clean?
to
Because
India?
if you're just a normal person, it's not that easy to scrub your phone in a way that the agencies can't find out.
They've sent it for forensic examination is what I've been told. But, Arvind can tell us
फॉरेंसिक को
better.
भेजा है, बिल्कुल ये सही है।
क्या उसने फोन क्लीन कर दिया था अरविंद?
देखिए मैं सबसे पहले बताऊं कि जो आधे अधूरे पासपोर्ट की बात हो रही है वो इसमें यह है कि एक पासपोर्ट जिसमें सीमा नाम लिखा हुआ था और दूसरा पासपोर्ट जिसमें सीमा हैदर लिखा हुआ था। तो बहुत मुमकिन है, और इस तरह से कई बार होता है कि कोई पासपोर्ट पे अपना नाम पूरा नहीं लिख पाता है तो वो दूसरा पासपोर्ट बनवाता है जिसमें पूरा नाम लिखता है। तो सीमा बहुत मुमकिन है कि पहले का उसका जो पासपोर्ट हो वो शादी के पहले का हो, उसके बाद शादी के बाद उसने सीमा हैदर लिख लिया हो। ये भी एक इन्वेस्टिगेशन का सब्जेक्ट है जिस पर एजेंसीज जांच कर रही है। रही बात दूसरी, कई डेटा डिलीट हुए हैं। अमूमन हम में आप में से कई ऐसे लोग हैं जब कोई चैट्स करते हैं तो वो डेटा डिलीट करते हैं, लेकिन चूंकि ये मामला एक पाकिस्तानी महिला की घुसपैठ का है इसलिए एजेंसीज ने इस डेटा डिलीट को भी बहुत सीरियसली लिया है। लेकिन जैसा मैंने पहले बताया कि पहले नोएडा पुलिस ने, और शम्स ने भी इस बात का जिक्र किया है कि नोएडा पुलिस से पहले जब भी कोई फॉरेनर से रिलेटेड मामला होता है तो उसके पहले सेंट्रल एजेंसीज वो आती हैं, चाहे इंटेलिजेंस ब्यूरो, नोएडा में मिलिट्री इंटेलिजेंस की यूनिट है, मिलिट्री इंटेलिजेंस रॉ के ऑफिसर, उन सभी ने सीमा से इंटरोगेट किया सीमा को। उसके बाद लोकल पुलिस को दिया गया, लोकल पुलिस ने फॉरेनर एक्ट में उसे अरेस्ट किया, उसके बाद वो जेल गई, उसके बाद बेल मिला और बेल भी नोएडा पुलिस ने उसको अपोज नहीं किया। उसके बाद एटीएस को इन्वेस्टिगेशन दी गई। 2 दिन एटीएस के जो एसएसपी हैं वो लखनऊ से यहां पर आते हैं, 2 दिन उसको इंटरोगेट करते हैं। उसके बाद अभी जो प्रेस रिलीज आई है कम से कम उसमें यही दावा किया जा रहा है कि जो कुछ भी सीमा ने कहा, जैसे गुलाम हैदर यूएई में जो उसका हस्बैंड है 70 से 80 हजार रुपए उसको पर मंथ भेजता था, उसने पैसा जमा किया, प्रॉपर्टी ली, फिर उसके बाद सचिन से मिलने के लिए वो प्रॉपर्टी बेच दी, उसके बाद किस तरीके से वो इंडिया आई, वो यहाँ पर मिली, उसके बाद वो बुलंदशहर जाती है, अपना पाकिस्तानी पासपोर्ट वो एक लॉयर को देती है और वो लॉयर तब जाकर पुलिस को कांटेक्ट करता है, तब इस पूरे मामले का खुलासा होता है। तो कई ऐसी चीजें हैं जो अनयूजुअल है जिसको लेकर ही इंटरोगेशन।
यहाँ पे मैं एक चीज बताना चाहूंगा, जो वो ये है कि कंफ्यूजन ये क्रिएट हो गया था कि एटीएस को जांच सौंपी गई है नोएडा पुलिस के बाद, इसलिए मामला कुछ सीरियस है, स्पाई है। नोएडा पुलिस ने खुद लखनऊ हेडक्वार्टर को एक एप्लीकेशन लिखा और ये कहा कि चूंकि इसमें कई कंट्री इन्वॉल्व है, नोएडा की हमारी एक सीमा है, हम काठमांडू में इन्वेस्टिगेट नहीं कर सकते, हम शारजा से अगर वो आई वो इन्वेस्टिगेट नहीं कर सकते, तो बेटर हो कि ऐसी एजेंसी जो बाकी फ़ोन के डिटेल्स और ये सारी चीज़ें इलेक्ट्रॉनिक एविडेंस कलेक्ट कर सके, दूसरे देश में अपनी इन्वेस्टिगेशन कर सके, तो उसको ही जांच देनी चाहिए। तो नोएडा पुलिस के कहने पर ही इस मामले की जांच ATS को सौंपी गई थी, और कोई दूसरा रीजन
Okay, Seema Haider is under investigation. The Uttar Pradesh Anti-Terror Squad trying to find out about her Pakistani links. It's being suggested that her brother and uncle are with the Pakistani army. Sources say Seema seems to have sent friend requests to officials in the Indian security forces. Now, why would she try and do that is one of the questions that investigators are trying to ask.
मेरा नाम सीमा सचिन है। सीमा ठाकुर भी कह सकते हो और ठकरायन भी कह सकते हो।
But Seema Haider's real-life tale blurs the lines between love and suspicion. The Pakistani citizen's illicit crossing of borders has triggered a full-scale investigation by Indian authorities. Agencies suspect that there may be more to her story than meets the eye. A deeper inspection of her activities, both offline and online, underway. Official sources tell India Today that UP's anti-terror squad has closely investigated Seema Haider's social media accounts. Turns out most of the people associated with them live in the national capital region. According to their sources, Seema Haider also sent friend requests to some soldiers of the Indian Army. Police now are looking for the motive. On her part, Haider claimed someone may have created a fake profile in her name.
नहीं सर, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है। जब भी सच्चाई सामने आएगी तो फिर ही आप बात करेंगे। ऐसा कुछ है नहीं, क्योंकि अपनी बेटियों के साथ हूँ, मेरी मासूम बेटियां हैं, मेरा बेटा है। ऐसा होता तो मैं अकेली ही आती, शायद पहली बार में जब आई तभी आती। अगर यहाँ ऐसा होता तो मैं खुद चल के वकील के पास नहीं जाती।
Central agencies suspect Seema Haider's infiltration into India could have been facilitated by a third party. A Pakistani Muslim, she could have been trained in Hindu customs, attire, and the Hindi language as spoken in the hinterlands of Uttar Pradesh.
जैसे यहाँ औरतें पति के लिए अपनी मांग भरे रखती हैं, तो I love that, मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता था ये सब।
A trademark practice adopted by Pakistan's rogue spy agencies to send its female operatives into India via Nepal. Central agencies haven't yet been able to confirm Seema Haider's claims that she entered India on May 13th. No evidence yet found about the presence of a third country citizen that day along the key border points between India and Nepal. Her brother Asif being a Pakistani ranger and uncle serving in the Pakistani army have also raised eyebrows. No evidence yet of her claims either that she sold a house to fund her India trip.
अभी भी ऐसा ही बोला, भाई हम जा रहे हैं गाँव, 3-4 दिन हमारे सामान का ख्याल रखो, फिर हम वापस आ जाएंगे। गई तो फिर वापस नहीं आई। GPS का कोई राब्ता हो गया, फिर ऐसे इधर चली गई, तो हमने नेट से सुना तो इंडिया पहुंच गई है।
Love and suspicion intertwined. A case still shrouded in mystery. With Jitendra Bahadur Singh and Arvind Ojha, Bureau Report, India Today.
I want to go across now to Samar Srivastav. He is in Kathmandu. He's tracking whether the information given by Seema and Sachin adds up in Nepal. What have you found out in your preliminary investigation so far, Samar?
Well, Rahul, it is very clear that there is something wrong when it comes to the hotel booking or visiting the temple Pashupati that is in Kathmandu, because when India TV reached the hotel and checked the entry in that particular register, there was no mention of either Sachin or Seema Haider. The receptionist told India Today TV that yes, both the duo came and stayed for around 7 days, but they were too normal. Most of the time they remained inside the room. Hardly they came out to visit temples like Pashupatinath and various others, but most of the time they were inside. But it is also worth mentioning here that they tried to hide their identity. They did not tell the receptionist that one particular person is Sachin, while the other one is Haider. While when India TV moved to the Pashupati temple, there is one area where there's the wedding happens at that particular area. And when we spoke to the pundits out there and also the others out there about that register where the entry takes place for the marriage, there was no entry of Seema or Sachin. That is a bigger question, like when did they enter wedlock? While the receptionist claimed that it could be said in the real video that Sachin is applying sindoor at the forehead of Seema, and he claimed that they entered wedlock in the particular room. So these were some questions coming in why they had to try to hide their identity. And the biggest question is how they crossed the Nepal border. What SSB forces were doing in Gorakhpur, Siddharthnagar or various districts which are in a way adjoining districts around Indo-Nepal border. So this is a bigger question, and that's why UP police has sought report from SSB as well to give information how Seema and Sachin, because for the first time in March, Sachin crossed the border from Gorakhpur. Number 2, in May, Seema Haider via bus from Pokhara entered the border via Siddharthnagar area. That is also the border of Indo-Nepal. And that is a bigger question, and that's why India Today TV is tracking each and every detail from where Seema Haider went to. Even currently I'm also traveling towards Pokhara, and that's the route where Seema Haider went through a cab and later took a bus.
Okay, I'll come back to you and we'll follow your reportage over the next 48 hours on India Today. Samar Srivastav, thank you for that update. I'm joined on this broadcast now by former Research and Analysis Wing Officer NK Sood. We have Arvind Kumar Jain, he's been Director General of Police in Uttar Pradesh. Meghna Pant is a well-known screenwriter, author. I want to go across to NK Sood first. You've tracked spies, you understand a couple of things about spycraft. On the basis of everything that is in the public domain so far, Mr. Sood, does Seema's saga seem particularly odd? Does she seem to you to be a woman hopelessly in love? Or do you think dal mein kuch kala hai?
Rahul, actually I am not able to get it very clearly, but I can understand what the basic question is. Firstly, people are saying it is an intelligence failure. It is not an intelligence failure. Secondly, Seema Haider in no way is an ISI agent. If she was an ISI agent, and secondly, the people are talking that how she entered, it is not difficult for anybody to enter India from Nepal. And secondly, when she came from Pakistan, there is that direct flight to Kathmandu. And if she was an ISI agent, there is a big unit of ISI in Pakistan embassy, in Pakistani embassy that is based in Kathmandu. They could have given her all the assistance. And one more thing, if she is crossing into India and she was an ISI agent, ISI would have taken proper care and would have briefed her that not to bring her passports to India. She could have destroyed the passport over there. People are talking about her changing SIMs, etc. She was afraid of not India or RAW or IB. She was afraid of ISI. That's why she destroyed some of her things. And one more thing, if Seema Haider was an ISI agent, she would have destroyed her passport, come to India, and after meeting Sachin, she would have said that I have come from Aligarh or anything, and she would have prepared any kind of documents in India. It's not a difficult job. And if she was an ISI agent, ISI would have taken proper care of Seema. And Seema, if she was an ISI agent, there was no need for Seema to convert to Hinduism. The main problem for Seema is that she converted to Hinduism, and she was expecting that if she would convert to Hinduism, she would get a good reception in India. I think this is where her calculation went wrong. And the way she is being investigated into, she is being repeatedly questioned by various agencies. And I think who can face such kind of disordered investigation? Different agencies are questioning her, different media are questioning her, and everybody will make mistakes. Making mistakes is not a problem. She has committed certain mistakes, but to target her as an ISI agent, I think it is just a big mistake. And one more thing, if ISI or RAW or any other agencies, they conduct any kind of operation, they are foolproof.
they are not made in a haphazard manner that this operation is there, or whatever people are calling that is an ISI operation, and the news that her brother was in army or anything. This all fake news is being spread by the ISI to defame her. If Seema Haider had not converted to Hinduism, nobody in Pakistan would have bothered, nobody in India would have bothered.
Okay.
Especially,
you made some very important points there. I want to go across to Arvind Kumar Jain, former Director General of the Uttar Pradesh Police. Mr. Jain, from your policing perspective, are things adding up, or are you seeing various key holes in Seema's story?
I have studied this matter. It's a sensitive issue, but in my opinion, I have said it on so many channels. In my view, she is not a spy.
Why not?
Papers would have been absolutely perfect had she been a spy. She would not have come with 4 children. And now she is known to, she has gained entry into every household of India. She is known all over the country. And if you are a spy, you require anonymity, and only then you can operate. Sachin Meena is not a person who can divulge any secrets, so it's not a case of honey trap. I think, although the time will tell, if something comes up, naturally she should be deported at once if it is proved that she is a spy. But she is a household name, her face is known to everybody. How can she operate from Greater Noida area, and what can she do? Her phones will always be on surveillance. There are so many people keeping watch on her in Raghupura area in Greater Noida. So I don't think she can act as a spy. I agree with Mr. Sood because she has converted to Hinduism, and she is performing puja, she is offering water to Tulsi. So all this is, it just has annoyed some powerful lobbies in Pakistan and India also. So that's why I think this campaign is going on. I don't think so many Bangladeshi women, Rohingya women have married in India. We are not even aware of it. And they have children also out of the wedlock. So what can she do, this lady alone, who is in public glare, who is known to everybody? Where will she go? How will she get hold of secrets, and what will she do with those secrets? So I don't believe this. I don't believe this. And had she been a spy, all the papers would have been absolutely in order.
Now, both of you make very important points, and most certainly there is no honey trap here, Meghna, because Sachin works at a Kirana store. So he's not working in DRDO or some sensitive installation. He's just a regular guy at a Kirana store. This story is bringing out the Sherlock Holmes in everyone, everyone trying to play Jagga Jasoos and coming up with their theories, and it's got people gripped. It's almost become a soap opera that's playing itself out in full public glare.
Yeah, I'm actually titling it Haider Ek Prem Katha because it's so cinematic almost. But Rahul, honestly, like my biggest fear is that this shouldn't turn into an orchestrated sort of propaganda campaign. We shouldn't add communal hues to it. We shouldn't politicize the issue. It's, for me at least, it's not feeling like a case of honey trapping. She's clearly not coming across as a spy. I mean, an illegal immigrant would go into hiding. Here's Seema, in front of the media. She's also brought her children along. Why would she, risk the lives of her children? She would have left them with her ex-husband if she were a spy. So I think we also need to allow ourselves to be gullible, to allow love to win, to not say ki there are love laws for everything, including reverse love jihad, where, it's dictated upon who you can love, how much you can love, how you can love. So I think we must do away with all of that. And I think
no, but it's also, it's very awkward. But the fact is, it's bringing out our worst social biases. People look at her and say, oh, she's a good-looking girl. How can she fall in love with Dekhi, uski shakal dekhi. How can she possibly be in love with her? It's these kind of biases that are letting people sway one way or the other basis what their conditioning and bias is.
But Rahul, that's the thing. Anytime we see an attractive woman, we immediately launch on a witch hunt against her. We want to tear her down. We want to bring her down. And that's unfortunately, 16,000 years of patriarchy speaking to our subconscious, where we can't hold back. And we're not focusing on the larger issue that, how our national security has been threatened, that 5 people from an enemy state just walked into our country. that is something that I think we need to listen to. We need to listen to the law of the land, the ATS and IB, the agencies. They are investigating. They made the arrest. They put her out on bail. So they are doing their job. So before we launch another witch hunt against an attractive woman, let's just take a step back and think of the larger issues at hand. Somebody was mentioning that she didn't have ample documents. What we're forgetting, Rahul, and we see this in our daily lives, women have always been marginalized when it comes to documentation. Their natal, especially from a certain socioeconomic strata, their natal family will not let go of the documents. They'll be married off in distant villages where there's no access to documents. So therefore, a lot of women are thriving on, say, fake IDs, including fake Aadhaar cards. So you can't put the onus of that on a woman or make it look like it's her fault. It's the fault of our society that women have been marginalized for so long, and even illegal, unlawful immigrants, the political vilification that takes place, the stigmatization, it's very sort of Kafkaesque almost. So let's not ignore that out of Seema Haider's story. It's not about honey trapping. It's not about reverse love jihad. For me, the important thing is about our borders, why are borders so porous, and also the documentation and legality of women in particular who've been marginalized for so long.
Those are very important points made by NK Sood, Arvind Kumar Jain and Meghna Pant, and I want to thank them for joining us on this broadcast. As I go across now live to Lucknow, where Brajesh Pathak, the Uttar Pradesh Deputy Chief Minister, who's joining us on this broadcast. Brajesh ji, ये बताइए कि तमाम एजेंसियां इस वक्त उत्तर प्रदेश की, खासतौर से यूपी एंटी टेररिज्म स्क्वाड इन्वेस्टिगेट कर रहा है सीमा हैदर के केस को। आपको जो ब्रीफिंग मिली है उसके हिसाब से सीमा की कहानी क्या है? क्या ये एक महिला है जिसको प्रेम हो गया था, या फिर आपको लग रहा है कि ये जासूस है पाकिस्तान की?
देखिए, सुरक्षा एजेंसियां इस मामले में गंभीरता के साथ जांच कर रही हैं। चूँकि मामला बहुत ही संवेदनशील है, इसलिए बहुत कुछ कहना उचित नहीं होगा। पूरे प्रकरण की उच्च स्तरीय जांच हो रही है और हमारा स्टैंड ये है कि हम उत्तर प्रदेश में लॉ एंड ऑर्डर को मेंटेन करेंगे। हर स्थिति में किसी को भी लॉ एंड ऑर्डर से खिलवाड़ करने की छूट नहीं है।
नहीं, पर अब तक आपको क्या पता चला है? क्योंकि इसके खुद के 2 पासपोर्ट है, 4 पासपोर्ट इसके बच्चों के हैं, मल्टीपल शिनाख्ती कार्ड्स की बात हो रही है। इन सारी चीज़ों को देखते हुए क्या आपको लगता है कि लॉ एंड ऑर्डर में कुछ खामियां हैं, कुछ कमियां हैं, जिसके चलते सीमा यहाँ पे घुस आई और इस तरीके से इंडिया में रह पा रही थी, नेपाल से आई है इंडिया में?
दरअसल अभी विस्तृत रूप से कुछ बाहर बताया नहीं गया है और अभी हम बहुत कुछ बताने की स्थिति में नहीं है। अभी तक जो हमारे को बताना है वो ये है कि पूरा मामला बहुत ही गंभीर है और चूंकि देश की सुरक्षा से जुड़ा है तो संवेदनशील होने के कारण इस मामले की जांच बहुत ही गंभीरता के साथ सुरक्षा एजेंसियों के साथ साथ अभिसूचना की एजेंसियां भी कर रही हैं और पुलिस भी सक्रिय है। जैसे जैसे स्थितियां स्पष्ट होंगी हम आपके सामने पुनः आएंगे। अभी यह है स्थिति कि हमारा स्टैंड है कि उत्तर प्रदेश में हम कानून व्यवस्था को और मजबूत करेंगे। किसी को भी कानून व्यवस्था से छेड़छाड़ करने की, खिलवाड़ करने की छूट नहीं है।
मामला सिक्योरिटी का भी है, लड़की की सुरक्षा का, क्योंकि कई ग्रुप्स डिमांड कर रहे हैं कि सीमा को डिपोर्ट किया जाए, वापस पाकिस्तान भेजा जाए। दूसरी तरफ से कहा जा रहा है कि वो हिंदू बन चुकी है, ऐसे में अगर उसको पाकिस्तान वापस भेज दिया जाता है तो हो सकता है कि वहाँ पे उसकी जान को खतरा हो। क्या आप उसको इंडिया में रखने के बारे में सोच रहे हैं, या आपको लगता है कि पाकिस्तान उसको भेजा जा सकता है? क्योंकि कई पास्ट केसेस में हमने देखा है कि ऐसे केसेस में जो महिला आई थी उसको वापस भेजा गया।
देखिए देखिए हम अभी इस बात को भी हम कुछ कह नहीं पाएंगे। हमारा स्थिति ये है, हम केवल उत्तर प्रदेश में लॉ एंड ऑर्डर को मेंटेन करने की बात कह रहे हैं और किसी भी स्थिति में इसमें किसी प्रकार से खिलवाड़ की छूट नहीं है। सुरक्षा एजेंसियां जांच कर रही हैं और जो भी आगे की कार्रवाई होगी हम आपको बाद में बता पाएंगे।
नहीं, पर सबसे बड़ा सवाल तो मेरे पर्सपेक्टिव से ये है कि ये इंडिया और नेपाल के बीच में उत्तर प्रदेश बिहार से होता हुआ इतना बड़ा, इतना पोरस बॉर्डर है, जो चाहे आ सकता है, जो चाहे जा सकता है, कहीं पे कोई ठीक से चेकिंग नहीं होती। ऐसे में ये तो सीमा का केस बाहर आ गया, लेकिन कितने न जाने पाकिस्तानी एजेंट हैं जो प्रॉपर डॉक्यूमेंट्स के साथ पाकिस्तान अंदर भेज देता है और हमारे यहाँ पे कोई चेक ही नहीं है, क्योंकि इंडिया और नेपाल में अच्छा रिश्ता है, हमारे बॉर्डर्स ओपन है, तो फ्री फॉर ऑल है, कोई आए कोई जाए, कुछ पता ही नहीं, किसी को कोई ठिकाना नहीं।
जितने भी लूज पोल्स हैं कहाँ कहाँ से प्रवेश किया उसकी पूरी जांच हो रही है। हम उन स्थितियों पर भी गंभीरता से हमारी सूचना इकाई सुरक्षा एजेंसियां जांच कर रही हैं कि कहाँ पर गड़बड़ी हुई है, और स्थितियां जब स्पष्ट होंगी तभी हम कुछ कह पाएंगे।
Rajesh Pathak ji, for joining me from Lucknow. Thank you very much. The Deputy Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh is looking at this case closely, joining us. The India versus NDA fight also spilled into the Karnataka Assembly, where the BJP protested against the Congress's alleged misuse of IAS officers during the opposition meeting in Bengaluru. After the showdown in the Vidhan Sauda, 10 BJP MLAs were suspended by the Speaker. Former Karnataka Minister Ashwath Narayanan was carried out by marshals. Another BJP MLA, Yatpal, had to be carried out on a wheelchair. Where we wrap up the news track tonight. For your time and your trust, thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you 8 p.m. tomorrow evening. Till then, from all of us here, goodbye, good night.